Hello and hello. Somebody's on her way out, so hopefully we can have a nice, cool, calm session, even though it's spooky season. Welcome, everybody. I am Sophie, testing out the full shebang setup everywhere today. So I can only really see comments coming in from Twitch, but I'm trying to stream everywhere today. I don't think my LinkedIn worked, which is crazy because that's what we're here for. We're doing our LinkedIn daily games today. While we're doing those, I'm here to just offer a space. If you have any questions or thoughts on sexuality or sex, again, my name is Sophie from sexwithsophie.com. I teach people how to talk to each other about sex, whether it's talking to your kids, talking to people who disagree with you, or just talking to your partner, talking to yourself. So if you are so inclined, visit sexwithsophie.com to learn more about me. But we're here to celebrate because it is the second to final day in Asexual Awareness Week. And so we've had a wonderful time talking about asexual, aromantic, agender matters all week. And so today we're going to conclude our discussion, even though it's Saturday, tomorrow is the final day. Tomorrow is actually Intersex Awareness Day. So that'll be our focus tomorrow. So just for some final thoughts on asexuality, I'll be sharing those between doing our daily LinkedIn puzzles. So just sit back and enjoy. Or if you are so inclined, again, give me a call. So we have our topics that you want to talk about. If you want to talk about anything on the list up there, if you're on the Instagram, you probably can't see it, but that's okay. If you want to talk about anything else, that's perfectly fine. Again, I'm just here to create a space for you to call in or leave a comment, preferably on Twitch. Can't really see anywhere else just yet. And let me know what your thoughts or questions or queries are. So before we jump into our daily LinkedIn puzzles, there are 4 of them. Just to kind of share about asexuality awareness. The first step in asexuality awareness is being aware of whether or not you're asexual. So some of the signs that will present themselves if you are questioning whether or not you are of the sexual orientation asexual is whether or not you lack sexual attraction, if you just don't get turned on in that way. If you have a disinterest in sexual activities, if you have a preference for emotional intimacy, if you don't get aroused by sexual fantasies, or if you don't have fantasies, if you aren't interested in dating, if you want to focus on other forms of love as opposed to sexual love, like just having a platonic relationship. Sometimes you have a little or no desire to masturbate. Also, if you feel like you're queer, but you just can't figure out where you fit in with other sexual orientations, that's a good sign. You might want to assess whether or not you're on the asexuality spectrum. And again, it is a spectrum. And also, even with the definitions or the signs of having little desire to masturbate, for instance, a lot of asexual people do masturbate. They do have sex. They do have relationships. They do fall in love. It's just a matter of not feeling that sexual attraction piece of it. And then there's a concurrent orientation called aromanticism. So you might be aromantic if you feel platonic love for others, but not really romantic love. So if all aromantic means is you don't feel romantic attraction. You might feel sexual attraction, but not the romantic piece of the, oh, honey, like you might not get crushes. You might not feel like you've ever fallen in love with anyone. So those are kind of some of the signs. If you don't even know what a crush is, you're like, what is that? That's something where again you might want to assess whether or not you're aromantic. Some people can be both. For instance, my husband, he is aromantic and asexual, and so that's an interesting piece to navigate when you're married to someone. But ultimately, there's also all this nuance. We talked about a lot of that throughout the week, where if you're asexual, you might be demisexual or coisexual or cupiosexual or catosexual. If you're aromantic, you might be apothoromantic or agariromantic or flex romantic or great. There's all these different, places that you could fall in how you feel your attraction or don't feel your attractions. So it's just something to investigate, and hopefully that's helpful as far as giving a bit of an overview for what some of these things can look like. But definitely take some time and do some research if you're feeling like you or someone you know and love is on the spectrum. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump into our first LinkedIn puzzle in our LinkedIn and chill of the day. And again, feel free to interrupt at any time with a call or a comment. And I always start with cross climb because it's my least favorite. So this would be spare tire, the object kept in a car trunk in case of a sudden flat. Like bread that's been left out for a while, I'd say moldy. No, that's not going to be right. We're looking for one or two letter changes. So this is probably stale, I'm going to guess. Pile on top of each other, stack. Look at, intensely stare. Stem of a corn plant stalk. So yeah, I think that's it. So now we have to put them in order from how the letters change. So we have stale, stare, spare. That goes down here, and then we get our two final clues. So that'd be something bought that represents ownership in a company and a particular unit of that purchase. So we have a stock and, oh yeah, what is it? Stock, and when you buy a share, here we go. I had to think about that a second. Oh, thank you. Okay. So that's not really the most difficult of puzzles, but they're fun. You can't hate on that. So just to kind of, again, chit chat about some additional thoughts I have about asexuality awareness. If you're on, again, the asexual spectrum, there's just a lot of community out there. And you might feel like you're really alone. People really tend to not understand or know what asexuality even is. So just please know you are not alone. There are so many people who identify how you identify, who understand what you're going through. Even people like me who are allosexual, where I have traditional sort of sexual attraction. I do consider myself an ally. I feel like I've done a lot of homework and talked to a lot of people to really understand it. So even with people who might not identify how you do, there's still understanding and again, community out there. A lot of that is just on your social media platforms. Actually, people don't even know there's like a community feature on X or Twitter that's really helpful to find people who are specifically asexual or of any interests that you want. Of course, you have, what is it? Facebook. There's a lot of groups there. Instagram, TikTok, though. I'd say out of like the social media platforms, traditional ones or the big ones, TikTok's probably where you're going to really find some great community with asexuality and aromanticism. In fact, if you even go on TikTok and look up Ace Week 2024, there's tons of creators making some really good content throughout the week. My favorite social media platform that's not one of those big ones is Tumblr. Like I used to be huge on Tumblr like right out of college. That was like a really big platform, and then I thought it died. No, it's this like LGBTQ haven now, and it's amazing. There's just again a lot of community around the tags if you search for asexuality and aromanticism. And another really good one, of course, is going to be Reddit, where there's just tons and tons of subreddits that are broad, like just our asexuality, or really, really nuanced down into our cupiosexual and stuff like that. So, yeah, just really take advantage of your social media platforms, even those sort of side ones like Tumblr and Reddit. And yeah, if you also want to connect with me, I have a website called sexwithsophie.com. You can join as a free member. And we also offer a lot of community features for people who want to chat with other members or chat with people in focus groups specifically about and who are asexual. And asexuality and stuff like that. So it's a nice little place. I encourage you to check it out. I'm a little biased, but yeah, I do recommend. Also, if you go to sexwithsophie.com, you can see my podcast, the Sex with Sophie podcast. And one of my most recent episodes is with my dear, dear friend Pamela, who is asexual. So the asexuality episode of the Sex with Sophie podcast is just stellar. I learned so much from her. There's a lot of surprises in it as well. So it's really worth a listen. I'd love it if you checked it out. So yeah, moving on to our next LinkedIn puzzle. And again, feel free to interrupt at any time if you have thoughts, or if you want to share your experiences with asexuality. So pinpoint, super easy. So target, I'm going to guess maybe these are stores. Nerve, something with centers. Drums, target, nerve, drum. Okay, now this is getting interesting. We're trying to find the common thread between these clues. Target, nerve, drum. Oh my gosh, are these circles? You usually don't need more than a few. Oh, things you hit. Okay. Hitting the sweet spot. I have an Ask Sophie response. So if you haven't seen those, they're very, very detailed and highly researched responses to questions I get in through my Ask Sophie portal on sexwithsophie.com. And I have a question or an answer I'm providing to my member, Tiffany, about penetrative orgasms. So we'll be talking about hitting the sweet spot real soon. But yeah, just to move on. My kind of next thought about asexual awareness is about finding support. So we talked about where you can go to find community, but where do you go if you just want some solid information? I will say online, there's a website called asexuals.fandom.com. That is extraordinary. It does a really good job of breaking down a lot of these nuanced sub-orientations within asexuality. There's also the Asexuality or Asexual Visibility Network. Highly recommend you get involved with them if you are ace or know someone who is ace, because I think that's where it all started, with a place that provided information and support for people who are ace, for people who are aro. And yeah, highly recommend. And then finally, I would say that, especially if you're in a relationship, seek counseling, definitely seek some therapy. There's a really great website called LGBTQ Healthcare Directory.org, and I'll put all these links in my descriptions on YouTube when I get done with this. But yeah, LGBTQ Healthcare Directory.org. It's basically a site that and this is only in America, I'm sorry, but I'm sure that like in England, there's pinktherapy.com. There's a lot that are, I'm sure, in other countries too. But I like this one because you can actually search for people who are, or therapists, excuse me, who are asexual. You can search for therapists who are, or who are, I guess, friendly or understanding of, being gay or being pansexual. It's really cool that you can see those different orientations outlined on this site, so you can pick a therapist that you know is going to identify with your situation. So yeah, check it out, lgbtqhealthcaredirectory.org. And let's move on to our third LinkedIn puzzle, which is going to be Tango. I, for one, am really starting to enjoy this one because it used to be kind of simple. Now it's like, okay, it's getting a little easier. You basically can't have more than 2 in a row. You have to have an even amount of suns and moons on each row and column. And then whenever you see this symbol equals, you have to have the same symbol. And then if you have, of course, the X, it has to be the opposite symbol. So let's just see if we can follow those rules. So again, we can't have more than 2 in a row, so we know that's the sun. We got 3 moons here. We have to have 3 suns. So there's suns, 2 suns in a row. Can't have that. Can't have more than that. We have as, let's see. Okay, 2 in a row here we can't have, so that's going to be a sun. We need another moon for that row. There's 2 in a row. Has to be a sun on either side. Can't have more than 2 in a row. That's got to be a moon. Missing a sun for that column. Can't have more than 2 in a row. We need another sun for this column. Let's see. We need a sun and a moon for here. But whatever's here has to equal that. So let's see. Now I like when we get to these moments where it's like, okay, I have to think about this one a little bit. Okay, I see something we missed. Can't have more than 2 in a row, so that's got to be a sun. Can't have more than 2 in a row, that's got to be a moon. That's no moon. Sorry. We're watching Star Wars. So then I need a moon to complete this row. Need a sun to complete, or because we can't have more than 2 in a row. That's got to be a sun because it's equal. That has to be a moon because it's opposite. We need another moon for this column. We need another sun for this row. Another moon. Down to the end game here, guys. Need another moon and another sun. Oh, I love it. I love when we get little trip ups like that. So that was great. Well done. You're crushing it, everybody. So good job. Good job. Now, if you, again, want to interrupt at any time, feel free to call me at the number you see if you're looking on Twitch, if you're on Instagram. So sorry, I forgot to put the number on the little vertical thing, so maybe I can fix that. Let's see if I can fix that. Nope, I can't fix that. So next time I'll remember to put the number up so you can call in if you want to. But yeah, so either way, let's, I want to show you something. This is hilarious. Okay, so there is a quiz that I found on Tumblr that if you take it, it'll tell you what your sexual orientation is. And I don't know how it works. It's so stupid. So have a look at this. And I'm going to put the link for this in the description and stuff when I post this. But it says, can I guess your sexuality? Sure you can. So let's see. So I am Sophie. I'm going to start the quiz. Let me make sure you can see it. Okay. So yeah. So question 1. Which of these do you like best? I have no idea what it has to do with sexuality. I kind of in a toss up between this one and this one. I think I'm going to go with this one. I like that one. Oh, I'm missing one. There's one here. That looks like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Simone. Which of these is your favorite? Dragons, mermaids, unicorns, Mothman, guard gnomes, or vampires. I'm a twihard. I hate to admit it, but Mothman prophecies is that junk. So let's go and put Mothman. What color is your hair dyed? It's not dyed. But the answers were bleach blonde. It has some highlights, multiple colors, etc. Do you tuck your shirt in? Yes, unless I'm wearing a crop top. Sometimes, always, never. No, really don't. Maybe only in formal situations or for work. Which of these colors is your favorite? Purple, pink, red, yellow, blue, other, not sure. Usually mine's like green. I'd say like yellow. What is your aesthetic? Cottage core? I have no idea what any of this means. Cryptic core, punk, pastel, 80s. An old Victorian mansion that's definitely haunted. I would say I'm probably pastel, maybe? Choose an artist. Sorry. Hosier, Dodie, Arctic Monkeys, My Chemical Romance, Queen, none of these. I like Queen. Because I don't know who, kind of know who the other ones are. Pick something: tattoo, choker, iced coffee, Polaroids, string lights, playing cards, or Doc Martens. Probably playing cards. Iced coffee, though. I like iced coffee. All right. Or string lights. Oh, I don't know. String lights. I'm going to say string lights. So next, do you like puns? I'm never not making a pun. That's me. Yeah, maybe if it's a really good pun. I hate puns. All right, so your result. Straight. Unless you're just taking quizzes on the internet to see if you're gay because you haven't come to terms with your sexuality yet. I'm just kidding. You're definitely straight. Here's the thing. I have no idea. First of all, I'm not straight. I am pansexual. But I am in a monogamous heterosexual marriage, and I have been for 10 years. I've been only dating this man for 14 years. So, I'm not going to call pansexual or bisexual erasure just yet. But isn't that crazy? Like, it says straight. Now, the crazier thing is that my husband did it. And I was like, oh, because I sent it to him on the WhatsApp or whatever. And I was like, hey, did you do that quiz? He was like, yeah, I was stupid. I was like, but did you do it? He was like, but none of the answers made any sense. I was like, I know, but did you do it? He's like, yeah. I was like, what did you get? He said, asexual. I was like, yeah, of course you did. So I have no idea how it works, but it works. So, I mean, I would definitely give it a shot, see what yours comes up with. It's so fun. So yeah, with that, let's move on to our final puzzle. And that is just so cute. This is my favorite one. This one is Queens. I don't know, I said it like that. And I really enjoy these. This is what actually got me into doing the Star Battle puzzles, because that's really all these are. And the whole point is to get one, in this case, crown in each colored shape, in each row, and in each column. Look, it says if in the middle. That's cute. So sometimes rules can be applied to these things. So like, for instance, if we look at the bottom two rows, my computer's like, your battery is low, girl. I know, I'm sorry. But if you look at the bottom two rows, there are only two colors. So any of these colors outside of these two rows, you can eliminate them, because you can't have a crown that would go outside of the two rows the colors are in. That leaves two more colors in these two rows. So you can take away all of this. And let's see. So that leaves the gray as only being in this row. So we can take away everything around these two shapes, because if we had a crown here or here, it would eliminate that. And then we can take away, of course, all the rest of that gray. Same thing with this green. Everything can go. Let's see. Now this is blue or red. These are three solid shapes up here. That's fine. So now we can do this elimination here, because if we had a star here, it would take away this entire blue shape. Let's see. All right, so we kind of looked at our rows. Let's start looking at our columns to see if there's anything we can quickly take away. I will say the purple can only be in this column, so everything else in that column that's not purple can go. Same with this yellow. Same with this brown. The brown can only be in this row, so that whole rest of that row can go. Let's see. Oh, I hear my 5-year-old. That is my baby. All right, so let's start looking at the columns. So in this column, we only have where we're only able to put red and gray. So everything else in these two columns can go. We already did that purple. This can be orange and brown. This can be orange, brown, or green. That can be a bunch of things. And that can be a bunch of things. And that could be a bunch of things. So let's see. Now I'm just going to try to go back and look at the shapes to see if there's anything else we can get rid of. I tell you, this one's not very easy. Okay, I see something here. Now, if we had a star, or excuse me, a crown here, it would take away this and this, so we can't have a crown there, and that leaves this blue as only being able to be in this column, so everything else in that column can go. And if you see something, certainly leave a comment and help us sister out. Let's see. So that can only be blue. All that's kind of accounted for. Let's see. Ooh, I love it when they're tricky like this though, because it's like, what's it gonna be? All right, I feel like this pink one is just kind of making it hard to eliminate some of these top ones. Let's see. And if you're like, Sophie, just do, then, you know, again, leave a comment. Let me know what I'm missing here. All right. I think we're going to have to just do a little brute forcing. So the brown, ooh, I see one here. We can't have a brown here, because if we did, it would take away both of these, and then you wouldn't be able to fit, you can't put two crowns in one line, so that cannot be a crown, leaving our final, or our first crown, which will be our brown crown. It's terrible. So we could take away that. We could take away everything in its column. Sorry. And everything in its row is already gone. So that leaves our yellow. That leaves our purple. Let's see. That leaves our orange. We can take away everything else in that row and in that column. So that leaves our pink. That leaves our green, our blue, our red, and finally our gray. So that one was a little tricky. Wow. Well done, though, everybody. Fun, fun, fun. And that's our final puzzle for the day. Sometimes I'll go through and do some additional star battles, but hi. Yeah.
Do you want to play Roblox?
Yeah, we could play Roblox in a minute, okay? No, not Cloud. You gotta go out there for a little bit. Well, okay. I have other matters to attend to. But yeah, we sometimes we'll do these star battles. But I want to go hang out with my daughter. So, thanks for joining me. Just for a final thought on Asexuality Awareness Week. Just again, if you have any questions or want a list of those resources, please be sure to follow me on YouTube or go to sexwithsophie.com, and I will be sure to post everything that I mentioned. Yeah, and as far as just the future of asexuality, we talked a lot about Yasmin Benoit yesterday, who was really ostracized. And I was mistaken. I said that she did the UK Pride, or she announced the UK Pride, but she was actually the Grand Marshal for NYC Pride. And that gave her a lot of backlash. So I'm just hoping that as we move forward in the future with more understanding, empathy, and education, that the LGBTQIA plus, 2S LGBTQIA plus community will be more accepting of everybody amongst its ranks, not just the LG and the B. Okay. And so, yeah, I think that's where we're going to be headed soon. I'm definitely hoping that with the tides turning on this MAGA-centric kind of mentality in America, that will we'll see a hopeful, bright new future for all of us, including our ace brothers and sisters. So thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow for our next LinkedIn and Chill. Bye, everybody.